Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. So moving on, we now want to look at the anwa' al-ikhtilaf. So previously we looked at the types of ikhtilaf. Previously we looked at the asbab al-ikhtilaf. Why do the mufassirun differ? Now you want to say, well, when we have a difference of opinion, what kind of difference is this? Is it reconcilable? Is it just a wording difference? Is it a genuine difference? So this is what we hear. So we had all of these questions before. The Usool at-Tafseer, what is Tafseer, what is Usool, the Masadir of Tafseer, how to use these Masadir to get to at-Tafseer. And then when Tafseer differs, why is it differing? How did it differ? So a simple here is, we can say here, this is what we can look at. You have ikhtilaf bit-tadad. What does tadad mean? That they're contradictory. It can't be both. Meaning mutadad mean it can't be both of them. It's either or. Both can't fit. So the ikhtilaf is either ikhtilafun bit-tadad. There's a difference of opinion in such a way that it cannot be reconciled. It's either this or either that. Yes? And another example is ikhtilafun bit-tanawwu'. That they can be reconciled, and these are either different because there's a different way of expression. They express differently. They are expressed differently. And number two, or there's a tamtheel. There's tamtheel, meaning each mufassir is given a different example, and we go through each of these three. So number one is, there's a difference which is irreconcilable. Or number two, there's a tanawwu'. They're reconcilable, but it's different of expression. And either they're expressing the same meaning using one word, different words using the same meaning, or they're given different examples. Let's go through this bit by bit. Right? So let's say, for example, so ikhtilaf, a difference of an ikhtilaf in a tafsir in which it can't be reconciled. I mean, it's either this or either that. Is a perfect example within fiqh. وَالْمُطَلَّقَاتُ يَتَرَبَّصْنَ بِأَنفُسِهِنَّ ثَلَاثَةَ قُرُوء. That the divorced women, then they have, before they marry again, or before they can marry again, they have a waiting period of 3 quru'. A waiting period of what? 3 quru'. What does quru' mean? This is ishtiraq al-lughawi. It has two different meanings. The Arabs have used this as what? In the meaning of the period itself, when she's menstruating, or the period when, or the time when she's not menstruating, when she is pure, without menstruation, normal period, normal time. So now, if you go into the fiqh of this, I don't want to go into that right now. It occurs a difference, a very technical difference. Okay, it make a difference between so when does she start counting her iddah from? Her waiting period. When does it start from? And when does it end? It'll be a few days different, but it's a difference. So obviously, simple is that just be cautious and just do it at the end. But for argument's sake, what is the fiqh ruling? Yes. So now it can't be both. It has to be either one. So this is a difference where it can't be reconciled. That's why the Ahnaf and the Shawafi and other madhahib as well. But this is based on this. Their difference is now based on this stuff. Thalathatul quru', what does it refer to? And that's where we get difference of opinion. And it has to be one of them. It can't be both. And another example of this is what? It says, أَوْ يَعْفُوَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ أُقْدَةُ النِّكَاحِ. That when there's a mahar involved, and before the marriage could be consummated, they were divorced for whatever reason. Maybe things didn't work out, they couldn't get together, or whatever happened. And now, what happens now? So you have to give half the mahar, half the dowry, unless the lady ya'funa, ya'fu ya'fuani ya'funa. This is ya'fu ya'fuani ya'funa, ta'fu ta'fuani ya'funa. This is when the mudhakkar and the ghaibat are both the same. Yes, yad'u and yad'una yad'una. So that they forgive, they overlook it, or alladhi biyadihi uqdatun nikah. Again, we can use the siyaq and the sibaq and the hadith to differentiate and try to ta'yin of it. But there's two opinions here in summary. The fiqh masala, I'm not discussing that. The point here is either if reads here is the wali or the wife. And ya'funa is either the wali or the zawj. It's either the wali or it's either the zawj. Okay, we do this in tafsir later on. But for now, the point is that the difference in uqdatun nikah, again, this is also kinaya. Kinaya anil mawsoof. That's what they're doing balagha in the morning. Okay? So now, it can't be both of them. It's biyadihi uqdatun nikah, in one whose hand is the nikah, who has authority of the nikah. Who is this referring to? Is it referring to wali, or is it referring to the zawj? It can't be both. It has to be one of them. One of them has authority to forgive. Yes? So one has authority to forgive, and who is this person? It's either the wali, either the zawj. It can't be both. So this is what we call the ikhtilaf. And this ikhtilaf is and you get this in tafsir, but these two examples I gave you, they spill over into fiqh. And now there's a hukam regarding this. And now then there's a difference among scholars, what should be done here. Many of the other tafasir are also like this, some of them, but there's no, in terms of, it has no thamara in terms of amal. It is academic and ilmi fa'idah. Are you following? Yeah? Yes? Another type of ikhtilaf is what? When the ikhtilaf is such that they're all expressing what is reconcilable. They are all expressing one meaning. They're all doing what? Expressing one meaning but different words. Let me give you an example. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. What does that mean? What's straight path? What is it? You got meaning in your mind. You're scared to say what word should I say? You know what it means, isn't it? You know what it is, but you're not sure what word. You're a bit reluctant to say the word because you're not sure how should I ta'wil of it. Now it's just such a Surah Fatiha, and everybody reads it every day, 5 times a day. Do the math, how many times you read it a day? Yet there's ikhtilaf in tafsir of this. How can it be ikhtilaf in Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim? How can they not know what this means? How can they have a different opinion? No different opinion. Is that everybody knows what it is, but nobody even asked about it in the earlier time because everybody knows what it means. Now when the question arises, how do we document this? Somebody asks a question, what does it mean? So somebody explained it. Somebody says it's Quran. The Quran is the straight path. I.e. the ahkam of the Quran. Somebody says it's Islam. Somebody said it's the way of the Sahaba. Somebody said the way of the Prophet. There's no difference. The meaning, the mafhum is being expressed. One mafhum is this. Sirat al-Mustaqim is this. How do you express it? Somebody use this word. Somebody use this word. Somebody use this word. Somebody use this word. It's not possible that there's a difference in Sirat al-Mustaqim, that there's something we say every single day. Nobody ever thought about asking what it meant. Everybody knew what it meant. That's why they never asked about it. There's no tafsir manqul from the Prophet ﷺ because they know what it meant. But when the time came that let's document this or let's word it, then the wording was different. But the ma'na is wahid. So there's no ikhtilaf. Ikhtilaf is lafzi. The ma'na is what they're trying to say is one point. They're trying to say one point. But they use different words to express this. Do you understand? So if you look at here now, so Baghawi says here, Abdullah ibn Abbas, Jabir radiyallahu anhu and Muqatil, all of them says Islam. So Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, I get it towards Islam. Then Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu says, Quran. So the Quran is Islam. It's just a way of expressing the Sirat al-Mustaqim. The Quran is Islam, and Islam is the Quran. Yes? Ali radiyallahu anhu also says, As-Sirat al-Mustaqim kitabullah. Are you following? So they're expressing the same meaning, but the wording is different. Jabir radiyallahu anhu said, Tariqul Jannah, because it's also, if you follow Islam, you follow the kitabullah, and you will enter Jannah. Yes? Then Sahib ibn Abdullah Tasturi rahimahullah is a tabi, a tabu tabi, or maybe a bit later he says, Tariqul Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Why is it different? It's not different. It's just explaining that the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah is the Quran. It is Islam. It is the Sirat al-Mustaqim. Yes. And then Abdullah al-Muzani Bakr ibn Abdullah al-Muzani he says here, Tariq Rasulillah. Some say Tariq Rasulillah wa alihi wa sahibahu, the way of Abu Bakr, meaning the way of the this where everybody knows what Sirat al-Mustaqim is. The straight path, the way that the way we please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the right way, not the misguided way. And when the time for documenting and doing ta'abir of this came, then they realized, well, how do we phrase this? Yes? So until now, I don't think anybody actually worded Sirat al-Mustaqim. When it's a straight path, what did it mean? You just like, you never like, I know what it means, like, everyone knows what it means. But you never word it. When it comes to wording now, if I had said all of you, write Sirat al-Mustaqim, what does it mean on a piece of paper? You might have different wording, but I'm sure, hopefully, nobody have the wrong meaning. It is a matter of what word you use. Yes? So it'll be different wording. Like exam, you have a question, the wording is all different. But hopefully you all get it right. Hopefully. Yes? So the wording is different, but the meaning and the mafhum is right. Are you following? Do you understand? Well, jami' yarji'u ila qawlin wahid. All of it refers to one particular meaning. So you have tafsir with tadad, which is not reconcilable, or the ikhtilaf is not with tanawwu, basically one meaning but expressed differently. Yes? And the third scenario is where we done it before, is tafsir bil mithal. So then each person gives his own example. Remember that? We did this before. Wal baqiyatu salihat. So we say here there's an umbrella term, all good deeds. And then the reason the tafsir difference is not that they all have the one meaning. Because salah doesn't mean zakat, salah doesn't mean zakat, zakat doesn't mean la ilaha illallah, zakat doesn't mean hajj, it doesn't mean wudu, they're all different. But all is a tafsir bil mithal. So they have one general umbrella term, and then each person is giving this meaning, their own meaning, what fits in here. Yes? So it can be salah, zakah, hajj. Yes? So you have, if you look at it here, we can have summarize it. You have ikhtilaf. And ikhtilaf can either be what? You have tadad, meaning the two tafsirs are completely irreconcilable. It's just either or. and they can't come to a conclusion or agreement what it is. Two different meanings completely. I mean, not completely different, but it's like there's a difference of opinion and you can't reconcile between two of them. Or it's ikhtilaf mit tanawwu. It's a matter of just variation. Either variation in the wording, in ta'bir, same meaning, but just ta'bir is wording is different. Or tanawwu in the mithal. Each one of them has given one juz of the mafhum. Therefore, we get a difference of expression. They're not all the same because so one says baqiyat as-salihat is a salah, is a zakat. They're not the same. They're different, but they're all different ajza of the mafhum al-kulli. Do you understand? We think tamthil is we think when you give a tafsir bin mithal is a part of tanawwu. That's how we phrased it. Tanawwu means that it's the same thing but different way of expressing. And a different way of expressing is either you're giving one meaning, you're expressing one meaning but in different words, or different words and different meanings but they're all examples of an umbrella term. Is that clear? So tanawwu is just basically his way of saying is reconcilable. So if you want to say in English, you say here irreconcilable or reconcilable. And the ones that are reconcilable are either because they are the exact same thing, just expressed differently, or they're different examples of the same umbrella term. Is that clear? Any other questions before we finish off today? Yeah? Okay, subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayka.